Hi guys, this is my third time making this video because I hate messing up on pronouncing words, but please forgive me if I say the word wrong. Um, it's just how it is, okay? So everyone pronounces words differently, so okay, depends on the dialect and all that. But anyway, so I wasn't sure what I was going to title this video. The idea right now is, what is dragon's blood incense made of? Or why use dragon blood's incense? So I'm used to, like most of us, frankincense and myrrh, walking down the aisles in the church if you grew up with that. And okay, that's what you burn to cleanse your home. And then, of course, sage. Later on you might learn about sage. And I always thought, okay, dragon's blood, back in the mid 90s, 95, I would order like a lot of books on crystals, incense, anything esoteric, just anything to learn, sacred geometry, just all these different things I had a lot of questions, as you usually do when you're like, a kid, and it's like, okay, let me order some books and see what these teachings are. And incense was one of the big ones because I love scent, and I'm always very sensitive to like anything that smells bad. Like I get really, I'm like, what is that? So like I love incense, and I love like fresh air smell, just like, so I'm just always into that type of stuff. And of course, when you read tarot, you light incense, you set the mood, you cleanse the space, all of that. If you do any kind of energetic healing work, you cleanse the space. You move into a new home, you cleanse the space. So I did my research on dragon's blood, and I also just vibe with it. Just got like a lot of information just thinking about it. I'm walking around cooking, and all this stuff came to me, and I just started writing down. I can make another video on that, but I'll share that with you later. But I'm thinking of calling it, I don't know, maybe Dragon's Blood 101, because I went on YouTube and I looked up all these things on dragon's blood, and it was good videos. It was like the incense burners, oils and all that, but it wasn't much information. And for me, I need to know why I'm doing something. Why? What is the meaning behind this? So I'm really hoping that, I think this video is meant for someone, because today I woke up and for some reason it came to mind. I was researching dragons. And growing up, you only hear dragon stories from Europe or from China, but there's actual dragon stories from tribes in Africa, and some guy went there in the 1920s and researched it. Like, this is something I researched again about last month. And then a friend of mine sent me some links that knows a lot, like older than me, and knows a lot about dragons, and played role-playing games, so was like very familiar with all of that type of folklore stuff, even more than me. Anyway, so I felt like, okay, I have a connection to dragons. Okay, I get it. Like, it's not like outside of myself. I always want to know more about things and see how it all connects, around the world. And dragon's blood, I was going to save this part for the end, but dragon's blood made it to Europe and to the rest of the world through the incense trade route. Okay, so you can Google that yourself. You guys can research that on your own. But dragon's blood is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of plants. Okay? Plants, flowers, but plants, trees. Okay? So let's get into it. Dragon's blood is made of different types of species, right? From my research. Like, I really got into it. Like, look, I wrote like stuff down. Like, I'm serious. I was like, okay, let me share this. Okay? So different types of plant families. So the Croton is the first one. And the Croton, I've seen this flower as a kid, but never knew the name. And when I started going to the nursery, I really wouldn't buy any plants. I mainly had like, cats and stuff like that. But I never bought plants. And last year, well, for the last maybe 5 years, I've been really into plants, and I got them now and then. And some are outside getting some sun right now. This one I'll mention later, but the Croton is very colorful, and you can Google that. All the information will be in the video link below. It's from China, India, New Guinea, Australia, the southeast of Asia. Okay, so that's one of the plants that makes up dragon's blood, and they use it in Chinese medicine, and I'm sure some other tribes, for healing leeches. Okay. So any kind of issues with lesions. Okay, so they used it for that. And the next plant is Dracaena. So I always thought this one was cool, and the name was kind of like dragon. So I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I got this one like maybe like 2 months ago. I need to repot it, and it's doing so good. So good. I like to go like this. It's like hair, right? It's really cute. Anyway, so West Angola. It's native to tropical areas, Africa from Sudan, South Mozambique, and I'm sure it grows in Southeast Asia as well. I mean, it's all tropical kind of climates, right? Then the other plant is Demonorops. Daemonorops. Daemonorops. I swear I'm saying it wrong. I don't care. But I do care, but it's like Daemonorops. Daemonorops. Okay, you have to like say it fast. So it's a ratten palm native to Malaysia, Indonesia, produces much of the dragon's blood. So that plant, when you look it up, it kind of looks like, it's beautiful. I love how it looks. Like a lot of these things, it's like I can't have where I live because it's too dry. But when you cut it, it has like that blood red color, right? It's beautiful. And it reminds me of the baboa tree. So if you look up, if you Google baboa tree, you'll see it. Okay, so I had it up here and I just kind of clicked off. But I love this tree. It is so beautiful. Madagascar has like a lot of those trees, but it looks like it. So B-A-B-B-A-B. So whenever someone makes a video, I'm like, okay, how do you spell that? But it looks like that plant. It could be a sister plant. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Right? So this Daemonorops is what it's called. Okay, so that's one of the plants that produces that most of the resin that makes up the dragon's blood incense. And then we have the Calamus rotan, and it's native to India, Sri Lanka, Burma, Myanmar, Burma, okay? And it's used as an antiviral, anti-diabetic, and anti-inflammatory. Okay, so that one is used for that. And when I think about it, it's kind of like all of these things fight against imbalances, right? So when you think of the dragon's blood, it's like, yeah, okay, people will just say, okay, it's good for the body for this, and okay, it's good for cleansing a space, because you know what was once in a body is now a spirit, and it's probably will be good for getting rid of any kind of illness or attachments or anything like that. And that's a video I want to make later on. The next one starts with the letter P, but is pronounced Pterocarpus. Okay, so it's used as an astringent. Okay, so I was like, okay, so this one is used for that. It's used for treating any kind of toothaches, any kind of dental issues. So that's the fifth one. That is a component that makes it. So the red color of it, people probably think, okay, red dragon, and it just caught on to that name, dragon's blood. And the tree that the dragon's blood, when they cut the tree, it has that red kind of bleeding color. So people just gave it that name. And mixing these five plants together that were probably interesting to whoever, you know, decided to put it all in, as an incense, or at first, of course, it was used as like kind of like an oil based, if you will, a liquid, and even probably more of into a powder, if you will, or however they used it back then. But then it took shape into incense, and the smell of it people probably liked as well. And they used it to as varnish for like furniture back in ancient time, as medicine, of course, and as incense, and as a dye. So it was used for a lot of different things. And what was fascinating for me was finding out more about the incense rather than just someone saying, oh, it's good for this, you know. So I hope you enjoy this video. I just wanted to make it because I don't see another one like this out there at all. And I'm assuming that this stuff came, like I said, during the incense trade route. And a lot of these plants that grew very well, just like food that grew very well in like Southeast Asian islands and so on, they got moved over to the Caribbean islands and to South America and any places, even probably California and Florida, like any place that's like, you know, tropical or warm that it can grow. So I hope this helps. I'm thinking of making a dragon's blood video as far as the oil, like, you know, mixing it with almond oil, you know, if you do like massage therapy and you, or, you know, if someone's like very stressed out, you can use it for that. There's so many things that you can use and the components of making that too. So if you guys are interested in other incense and where it's from and why, you know, you should use it, then yeah. But I'm really happy about making this video because I think that it will help someone that you can even search. Like there's other dragon blood videos out there and they're good. They have some information, but it doesn't go into detail about the 5 plants used and why and the history. Just a little bit of history behind it. That way you understand why you're using it. So I can do a part 2 to this if you guys are interested. So yeah, I feel like now I have a better understanding of dragon's blood. And I'll definitely burn it. I think it's also good to burn as one of the incense over several days when you move into a new place, and in different sessions that you might have, and different places you might visit, be like one of those kind of oils that you wear in yourself as like, you know, for just protecting your energy. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to make these videos. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Peace.